Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Movies Are Real for January and February 2025. I almost said 2024. This is the first, I guess.
First of the year, baby.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, well, yes. Hello, everybody. It is January. We're here with Ryan Lance.
Rawr. Just kidding. Just kidding, my man.
Oh, I don't get
Just kidding, my man. Well, the first movie I know was just Wolfman, so I thought I'd do a rawr.
I wish you had thought again.
Listen, that's the energy that this show needs.
Maybe it's time to retire. Oh, what's up, Carrie? How are you doing?
My back hurts. Ryan's annoying.
New year, same problems.
Yes, hello there, everybody. Welcome to another fun year of motion pictures. We arrive in January, and there's a lacking of January films this year, I feel.
It's true.
Or at least we're not watching them anymore.
We got like 6 January films last year. They were just all throughout the year.
Yeah.
So it's there's not that much in the... Yeah, we're also late, as per usual, but also we realized that January had like 3 movies we watched, so hey, why not combine it with February and talk about that as well? I don't know why I thought Kraven the Hunter was January, but that was last year.
It's a January movie.
That was a whole year ago.
It was a January movie in vibes alone.
That is true. It is the most January movie. Last year we had Madam Web, and now...
I think Madam Web was February. That was
Night Swim.
Yeah, exactly.
Night Swim, yeah. Started the year off pretty good.
But yes, we're now like on the eve of...
oh my god, we've done January and February, and I don't want to spoil stuff on this list, but we haven't had a Night Swim-esque movie.
I know.
It's disappointing, I know.
In January, we always usually get a Night Swim or a Fifth Insidious movie or something.
Den of Thieves 2? Is that...
Oh,
we did get that,
Den
though.
of Thieves 2?
I did not watch that.
Anyways, enough of that. Leigh Whannell somehow become the king of January because I believe The Invisible Man either came out in January or February the year it came out, which was... Is that 2020?
Yeah.
That sounds right, yeah. So...
Yeah, that was like... We were like... 2020 is off to a great start. What could possibly happen next?
Oh, yeah. And now he's back. Everyone's favorite bad actor from Saw is back with a new film with The Wolfman, an adaptation of the Dark Universe. No, just kidding, but the Universal Monster movie, Wolfman character. We got, is Julia Garner the lady from The Wife?
She's the wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do I know her from? We never talked about this.
She
is
most famous from Ozark, the show, which is a popular show on Netflix.
Show, yeah.
I
think he sells cocaine or something. I don't know.
Nice. Why is everyone always selling drugs in these TV shows?
I don't know.
And everyone's watching them. Like, oh yeah, I love that. What?
Yeah, Gladys from work. I bet you are really into the show where people are dealing drugs.
Is that what Yellowstone's about?
I don't know.
No one knows.
It's about
she was in that Apartment 7A movie last year.
I think that's what I think.
Yeah.
I've seen that face before. I thought it was the lady from Doctor Sleep, but it's definitely not from Doctor Sleep. Anyways, Wolfman, it's here. I think for the trailers when we saw this, we couldn't get a good read on this. I think we had high hopes because
I had high hopes when this was announced.
Yeah,
it was originally a pitch by Ryan Gosling,
yeah, you mentioned
where
that.
he was going to star and he wrote the story, not the screenplay, but he had the pitch for it.
He's like, what if a guy was a wolf?
And it was an allegory for generational trauma. They're like, whoa, he's speaking a mile a minute. But then I think because of the actor's strike, he had to, stuff got messed around and he had to dip out of it. And then I think at that point they got Leigh Whannell in the director chair and then they replaced stuff.
That's crazy.
So I feel like it was going to be a different movie and then it became,
So you're telling me it didn't start out as Leigh Whannell's I guess I'm the Universal Monster movie guy now?
No, I think, from my understanding, it was originally, he was, gonna produce and be in charge of it for the most part, but then he had to back away. So then they're like, oh fuck, what do we do? What's that guy who made the last one and also the only one that we've made in the last 5 years? It's okay, and then he made it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think it's mostly fine.
It is one of the movies of all time.
It's one of the movies of all time.
Yeah, Carrie, did you think?
I think it was fine.
It was a motion picture. Which is, again, I know, I feel like saying it's fine, it sounds worse than a bad movie, because we're just like, I have no opinions on this
I
film.
liked a lot of the ideas, you know, the whole allegory for generational trauma thing, you know, it's there, and that's fine.
I like the special effects.
The special effects, the wolf vision's funny. I like the idea of it being more of a, you know, a virusy type of thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
I think it's all fun ideas, but it all just doesn't really connect in a way that's super, you know,
and it's just kind of
interesting.
It's just kind of that idea, no performance to really.
Yeah.
And like one thing for me is like I didn't buy Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner as a couple.
No, absolutely.
They didn't mesh, and like the daughter looked like, you know, Christopher Abbott would have like given birth to her, but like there was nothing about the daughter that like looked anything, because Julia Garner has a very specific kind of look. I think that's why the main reason why, like, even though I haven't seen a lot of her stuff, I'm like, oh, her. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, this doesn't seem like a family.
There's no chemistry here for me.
Unfortunately.
Not that it was bad. It's just like you're two actors acting in a movie called Wolfman.
Yeah.
These are not characters. These are just two actors doing this movie. That's what I thought. Is it better than the Benicio del Toro Wolfman, Ryan?
Ooh, yes. Okay. That movie's sin is that it is so boring. Yeah. It's so boring. And like, oh my god, like I rewatched it the week of Wolfman, so like a month ago, and like I already remember so little of it. Mm-hmm. Cause like its whole thing is like, you know, Hannibal is like, I'm a wolfman, son. I killed your brother. And he's like, oh, that sucks. Why? It's like, because I realized after being a wolfman for years that, like, I'm better than everyone. I'm going to just go and kill everyone in the village. It's like, oh, that's a random thing to just, like, feel when you're, like, 80 fucking years old. It's like, well, now you're a wolfman. Now we're going to fight as wolfmen. And this director's going to make the first Captain America movie in a few years. So... it's a boring movie. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we're talking
very boring.
Back to this Wolfman.
And this Wolfman has fun ideas, but it just doesn't really have the inspiration that like
the
Invisible Man had. Because you know that had great actors, but also felt very like, you know, hey, we really feel good about this. This feels like we were handed this idea. It's like, I think I can make this work, and you made it work.
It's just not.
It just didn't really excel in it, which is a shame. But it's gonna be fine because the man who made Horny Dracula, Nosferatu, his next movie is a Wolfman movie.
Oh right, that's true. Robert Eggers.
Werewolf. Because I think it's like spelt like the old school.
Werewolf.
Werewolf. With 18 V's. It's like finally a good werewolf movie.
Yeah. Nothing else to say about this one?
I did really like the car crash sequence where the thing was
good.
in the tree.
Yes.
I thought that was really, really good. That was unfortunately my favorite part of the movie, I think, though.
I like the reveal because, like, you know, he's, like, talking to, like, his family before the perspective shifts to, like... Because the perspective is originally, like, from, you know, the male protagonist, and then it shifts to the wife and the daughter. And I like how...
I did like that.
Towards the end of it, like, he's, like, talking to them, and they're like, why aren't they saying anything to me? And then it's revealed that, like, oh, he's just making these weird guttural wolf
I just wish they again.
He's just going rawr.
I wish I cared about the characters. That was a good idea.
It was a good idea, but, you know, I feel like they could have done more with it.
I think you just had to get different actors. I really think it's no. I'm sorry, guys.
It doesn't help that he was
in the script.
The script needed some more work.
Why was Julie Gardner not a great mom? I don't know, because she's vaguely, she works.
Because like when I saw the trailer, I thought that like, oh, this is like, because they also don't look to be the same age. Like she looks really young. She looks very young. So I thought like, oh, this is like the girlfriend, and she's not close to the daughter.
Worked. Yeah,
that could have worked.
That's what I assumed from the trailer. I was like, oh no, I gave birth to you. It's like, you look 24, and he is a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
Well. Yeah,
whatever.
Not a bad movie. So good job, Whannell. You didn't make a stinker, you know. Everybody loves Upgrade.
Still
That's a
not,
good movie.
still
That's
not
a
seen
good
movie.
Upgrade.
Not seen Upgrade.
It's not
It's
based
good.
on one of the Universal
It's
monster
pretty good.
characters, so I refuse to watch it.
Well, fine.
My goal for this year is to only watch movies based on the Universal monster characters.
Oh.
So I'm really gonna not do a good job on this podcast this year. Starting off strong with my raw joke, and then I've ended week with nothing else to say.
Oof.
Yeah, so that was disappointing, but it's fine. It was a mild disappointment. Presents! The next film by Steven Soderbergh,
Yes.
starring Lucy Liu and Julia Fox for a split second. But for some reason, Julia Fox is the one doing all the press interviews.
Right.
Probably because they could get Julia Fox. But yeah, this is a Ghost in the House movie. Very similar vibes to A Ghost Story, but not, I don't know.
A little different.
It's a little different, but it is like, we are in this house, and there is a ghost that is living here, and we are seeing things through the perspective of the ghost, and then a family moves in, and we don't know anything about the ghost. Is it a bad ghost? Is it a mean ghost? Ghost seems fine. What's up with this family? This son is an asshole. This daughter seems cool, and she can kind of connect with, she's in the room with the ghost. But everything else about the family's kind of falling at the seams, and it's about this ghost is gonna bring them together. No, not really. But yeah, I thought this was fan-fucking-tastic. I thought it just from it executed everything on the pitch of a ghost that we're not sure what's going on, like what's this ghost's deal, and what's going on with all this fucking very creepy guy. Yeah, it's excellent. It's great tension, keeps you guessing, great pacing. I think the actor who plays the shithead brother is a little on the nose, but that's all I gotta say. Lucy Liu is, who knows what she did? We never find out what she does. Yeah, she does illicit things. We never know what they do. Yeah, Carrie, what'd you think of this?
I really liked this.
Big fan.
This
of
is my favorite genre, which is sad ghost.
Sad
movie.
ghost in the house. Yeah.
I love everything about it, and I liked the gimmick of the camera floating around, and just imagining Steven Soderbergh in his little slippers running around the house.
Yeah.
And it does a lot of really what you would expect in a ghost movie steps, but it does them well, and they don't feel out of place, even if they are a little corny. But even if they are corny, it's my favorite genre, so I'm like, yes, this part of of the ghost story.
It's a pretty house, great shot. It is really hard to think about like how they shot it when there's like, all right, so like again, the camera is the ghost. It's just like yeah, it's pretty good. What was I gonna say? I lost my point, but yeah, this is good, Ryan.
I liked it the least of everyone. I didn't dislike it. Like, I think I gave it 3, just because out of 5.
Oh,
not out of
I know.
Not out of 14. Just because I felt like it was building up to like a reveal or a moment, and then when the moment happened, it just didn't do anything for me personally, and that just made all the build up just kind of not feel worth it for me. But that's all on personal thing, and then. I saw the trailer like the next day after watching it. I was like, oh, they spoiled the final scene in the movie in the trailer.
Yeah? With the jumping through, or what
part? With the mirror.
Oh!
With the reveal of the mirror. That is in the trailer. And it's like, what are you doing?
That's
You
funny.
reveal the mystery of the ghost in the trailer,
Listen,
which is
no
what
one
the whole
knows about
movie
it.
is like
Yeah, I
building
didn't
up
know
to
that.
it.
It's fine.
I just thought that was very funny.
Well, it didn't stick out
Listen,
to us.
I've been
before
in
we
That's
saw
meetings.
the
true.
movie.
I've been in meetings for video game trailers where we're like, "Fuck it, just put the last section. They're not gonna fucking know about it. You gotta make a trailer. We gotta show things." Yeah, just a really fun movie. It just feels. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a small movie, but I just love how it feels intimate and tiny. It feels like Steven Soderbergh got his cast and we're like, we're gonna shoot this movie in this house, and there's just something really guerrilla. We're gonna do it ourselves, sort of deal. The dad's great.
I
Dad's
really liked the dad,
fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic. He's the most I think.
I was trying to think of what else I've seen that dad in, because I feel like I've seen him do that stuff before. And I think I saw he was in Stranger Things, And I was like, I don't remember anything about Stranger Things anymore.
I know, it takes so long.
It takes them 14 years to make a season.
I remember liking season 4.
And then I watch it, and then it's out of my head immediately because it was not good.
What was I going to say?
I think they're finally finishing Stranger Things this year.
I also enjoyed that this felt like a reboot of Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Because, like, what if we were the ghost? And, I like that as well. This is a great movie. Big fan of this film. Big fan. I think the trailers and the it's not so scary. It's just it's just clever. It's just really clever. It's not scary at all. I mean, we're talking about night performances. There's a character who's a bad guy in this movie, and he does a great job at being a bad guy. I thought he was horrifying. Yeah. A very creepy guy. We gotta do something about these youth. Lock them up. You know what I'm saying? No, just kidding. But yeah, Presents. It's good. Steven Soderbergh. What did he do before? Did he do Kimmy? Was that
Yeah. That was he did Kimmy, the HBO Max at the time
with the daughter of a sinister
Zoe
man.
Kravitz.
Yes.
Zoe Kravitz, and it was a COVID movie, and it was not great.
Yeah, I remember not great. That was the thing that happened back when it was just HBO Max, not Max, the one to watch for HBO. Yeah. Simply
He's
times.
got a crazy filmography because I was like,
it's all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought of him as the guy who directed Unsane.
He is the guy who directed Unsane.
Movies, and I was like, oh, this guy's done so much. I sold him so short. I was like, yeah, Unsane director.
Yeah, I love
but that
Unsane.
Movie slaps, so
that's a fun movie.
A compliment. Remember when Matt Damon shows up in that movie? And I was like, what the fuck? Can't get away from this guy.
The Girlfriend Experience? Yeah, he's all over the map.
That man has no genre.
Yeah, Logan Lucky, which everyone tells me is great.
That's
I haven't seen
movie.
it.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's no Insane, but probably, I don't know.
Companion. Starring Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid. Drew Hancock. I don't think this director's done anything of note. This is like his first big dealing.
I don't think so.
A movie I really wish I only saw the first trailer for and nothing else, because it's much more interesting of a concept if you don't know what the setup is. Yeah, I think. But this is still a great movie. I thought at least. But yeah, we follow this character. I guess I can't spoil it for you. But anyways, we follow this Sophie Thatcher's character, who's dating Jack Quaid, and everything's great. They're going off on a remote little vacation trip with their friends in a little cabin, hosted by some mysterious guy who has a lot of money. We don't ask a lot of questions. We just hang out and we enjoy the house. He likes to collect CDs. He still plays CDs. It's cool.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Anyone who still does physical media can't be all bad. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. I know. What's his name from American Psycho? Pretty cool guy. He listen to the news. Check him out. So yes, and I don't know. Should I just spoil what this thing is or not?
I think
people know.
Okay, she's a robot. She's an android. Specifically like a companion android, like a girlfriend. To Jack Quaid. They are gonna use her for a little tool as a scheme. They want to they're gonna scheme some stuff, and she's gonna be the plant or the fall robot for this, because she's a robot. Things do not go as planned, and Sophie Thatcher winds up becoming a lot more smarter than she's supposed to be, and hijinks ensue. This was great.
It's a very fun movie.
I was not sure how to read it from the trailers. I was interested, but I was like, I don't know if this will be good, but. Yeah, this is good. I think it's smart. It's funny without being cringy. I think it has there is still like the underlying truth of like how people get into these abusive relationships. Like it has that, but it still also has moments of levity and silliness, like about this whole situation, the situation they find themselves in. We're all like, we don't know what we are way in over our heads. You were a fucking idiot, Jack Quaid. Why the fuck did we sign up to do this? We're in so much trouble. And just like not the heist, but the scheme gone awry. And then we have this character who's sort of actually becoming their own person. Just pretty good. I don't know, Ryan, what'd you think?
I think what surprised me is just like how well it does that balance of like being very funny and like but also being very aware of like this is an allegory for for how the way men treat women in relationships, from like just funny stuff to like how he treats his robot girlfriend in like her settings menu and like how she reacts to that. Yeah. It's played for a laugh, but it's also like, oh, this is obviously what a man would want.
Like the part in the car is just real. Like the part where she's trapped in the car and it's like, that's just terrifying. That's just real shit right there. Yeah.
And then also, how he's, using her, and then, maybe how he's using other characters. I think the boot up sequence stuff is very funny. Where it, how the robot connects with its person. I think it does that in a very funny way, and that's a good break from like the very stressful situation that the characters are in. Mm-hmm. And I just also appreciate the stuff at the end where, he has his scheme and, his new plan to like make it, go through is like, oh, he needs the people who made the robot to like come by and like do the stuff. And they like, assess the situation. He's like, explain everything to him. And then like one thing was like, oh yeah, he totally killed that guy, basically.
Yeah, that guy's fucked.
It's like, oh, you can tell? It's like, yes, it was so obvious. And I just love that. It really grounds everything in reality and like shows
like, oh, 100%.
This Jack Quaid guy is just an idiot. There's no way he's going to do anything.
Because again, his character is that like everyone is around him is wrong. He's very smart. People just give him the chance. Mm-hmm. They don't recognize how smart and cool I am.
It's true.
Yeah. But yeah, stuff. Carrie, what'd you think?
I liked it. It was a fun movie. It had a lot of little clever callbacks and turnarounds and stuff. I do wish that it was possible to go. I called it this year's Abigail because I wish it was possible to go in not knowing the bit. Because the part where...
Oh my god, Abigail, if you did not know what the bit was, insane.
But the scene where he first, like, shuts her down, like, there's clues and stuff, like, before that, like, we...
Right.
And I think there's other things where, like, there's other characters where their relationships aren't
like,
really
what
known.
Are they? Yeah.
And, like, those reveals happen. And I feel like I don't want to cut you off too much, Carrie, I'm sorry, but like there were people in our theater who I feel like it wasn't spoiled for them because I heard some gasps, and like that's always very fun.
Liked it. Yeah, well, because like going in knowing she's a robot, telling the whole fucking orange story at the beginning, so I'm like, okay, so it didn't happen. So then when someone else in the movie has a very cute little story about how they met, I'm like, oh, okay, so this also didn't happen. So that wasn't a surprise, but. It just felt the way that it was presented when he first, like, tells her to shut off. Like, it feels like that's supposed to be, like, a what moment, but it's like, oh, well, we knew she was a robot. But there was, like, other small things of her being like, it's just how I'm programmed, when she's talking about how she's nervous.
When he's like, hey, what's the weather like today?
That should have been the
that was kind of that.
It's 45 degrees inside.
Yeah. If we didn't know, I was talking to my friend about this, and we agreed that there was probably, they might have wanted to do that, because it's the barbarian people. They wanted to have it be a bait and switch, but they probably showed it to some test audiences, and they were like, oh yeah, that's very obvious.
It's
100%. So they were like, well,
I guess we'll just give it
we'll just put the jailbreak the sex bot joke in the trailer.
Yeah.
But it's a fun movie. I like it.
It is very fun. Even if you know the main premise of it, I think there's enough surprises that make it not that bad. But if you're able to show this to like a friend in a vacuum, who's like,
100%.
What? You'll have a great time watching them have a great time.
That was like when I watched Saw with Ryan for the first time, and he didn't know the twist at the very, very end.
Hell yes!
That was very...
Let's go!
That was very funny. I probably knew the twist, but like it'd been so long, I had forgotten it, and I was like, what? That's so silly.
He was in the bathtub. What?
That's Leigh Whannell?
Carrie Elways! What the...
You're dying. I'm sorry. My family.
Saw 11 still this year?
Man.
As far as I know.
Oh, hell
we gotta turn up. Please.
Yeah, good movie. Also, nice leading performance from a bunch of actors. I'm seeing a lot more now, which Sophie Thatcher from...
Sophie Thatcher is going to be a big Scream Queen person, I feel.
Heretic and
Heretic,
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket was... The first season was good. Second season immediately sucked.
There's a third season, I guess.
I probably won't get to it.
It just started, I believe.
I got very bored with the second season.
Yep.
I'm not watching that show because Hannibal is gone, and now everyone's like, I love Yellow Jackets. I'm like, where were you? Where were you when Hannibal was on?
When it gets to the Hannibal moment, it's a slow burn. Like, it's like, because that whole show is like, when are they going to get to that? But then it's like, oh, we're doing it. It's like, okay, guys, come on.
Well, that is all we have for January, folks.
Normally that'd be the end of the episode, but we're not gonna do that to you. Rawr. Because we're starting to do episode.
Stop doing that to me.
Rawr.
Ryan shut down.
we gotta go in there and adjust his cringe meter.
You jailbroke me to be way past the cringe amount. How dare you?
Heart Eyes. Is Ryan the only person who saw Heart Eyes?
I saw it.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna see it, but then I found out that the director is a guy who's on. He's on the fucking. I don't know what the channel is called, but they do that game show.
Jump Out.
It's one of those shows.
And,
he's on one of my favorite clips where the prompt is that he has to be Jigsaw, but he forgot to plan anything. It's just, I saw that clip out of context years ago, and I was like, well, this is hilarious. And then I found out that guy is the guy who directed Hard Eyes, and I was like, well, I'm seeing Hard Eyes.
He also has a funny clip where, like, each of the contestants was like, name this bird, and it's like, pigeon. Penguin. What's this? It's like this super weird. Like, like, that's an Australian billhorn. It's like,
that's a different guy. That's a different guy.
Okay.
But he's on that show.
He's on that
show.
show.
One of the guys from that show.
Okay.
But this is Hard Eyes. It is
like My Bloody Valentine, but not.
It's Scream.
Oh, it's Scream.
It's just Scream. Like, it's just Scream, right, Carrie? I think you've only seen a few.
I liked
Scream
it more
movies.
than Scream.
Yeah. But this is about a serial killer who only kills on Valentine's Day. And so Valentine's Day happens, and it's like, oh, there might be this killer going around, but I'm also this quirky marketing executive. It's trying to, like, be...
It's like a Lifetime movie, but a slasher.
It's trying to be the second Adult Swim Yule Log movie.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Okay.
I went to go look for it, and it was just not there anymore, and I was like, well,
interesting.
God damn it, Max, the one to watch for HBO.
Because the bit with the second Yule Log movie is it's doing a parody of the Hallmark movies. Where she basically, like, is trying to escape the Yule log because she's like, it's still following me, and she keeps running into, like, meet cutes with, like, other guys, and it's like, what's happening in this town?
That's funny.
And it's very funny, so, like, the whole thing's like, oh, I watched that very recently, and it's a better version of this. But it's this girl who's like a fun marketing executive, and is like, oh boy, I'll never find love.
And she just got out of a relationship.
Yeah, and then she meets this guy because, like, no one gets my Starbucks order but me. And then she finds the perfect guy, who's a guy from Scream, which one of the newer Scream movies, which is another way. It's Lionsgate too, so it's
guy
like
from Booksmart to me.
Oh,
yeah. Is he the handsome man?
He's the handsome guy that the
man,
girl really likes. And then, you know.
But it's them, like, they do, like, a meet cute, and meanwhile, this serial killer Hard Eyes is killing people. And they're like, why are we doing this on the Hard Eyes Day? It's like, you shouldn't be. You should stay home. Like, do Valentine's Day another day if there's a serial killer in your town.
She works for a jewelry company, and she's
marketing for a jewelry company.
And she just did this whole campaign about how romance makes you die, basically. And they were like, why'd you do this? There's a murderer. And she's like, I don't know, I'm in a dark place. And so they bring on Handsome Man as the fix-it guy to be like, I have these ideas.
And do it. We're going to have dinner on Valentine's Day at 8 p.m.
For this.
This is a side tangent, but George and I work in marketing. And I absolutely hate it when movies depict people working in marketing.
Wait, you don't just go to dinners with your
No, I don't get
Starbucks.
and, like, this is obviously, like, parodying that a little bit, but like it's still trying to do that because like I don't get Starbucks with my girl in the morning and then have.
If I worked in an office, I would get Starbucks every morning.
And then I don't have one meeting, and then I go to my yoga class, and then I go get juice.
But that's a TikTok.
This is a movie, Ryan.
I know, but that's not my world.
Ryan,
My world is like
I'm
answer
gonna say
emails
this out
all
loud.
day.
Marketing, the way people depict marketing people is not one of the biggest issues right now. There are more important things.
No, this is the issue. Step aside, minorities. Let me talk about my issues, okay?
Oh boy,
That's just a side tangent. But the movie's fine.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Perez, director of Werewolves Within and Scare Me.
Yeah, he's done a couple of them.
Maybe I'll watch this. Then.
I did not. I knew that it was the guy who directed those that made this, but I did not know that was the guy from the clip that I like.
Gotcha.
He also does a great Mads Mikkelsen impression.
But other than my issue with how they depict marketing people, is I feel like the reveal is like the most obvious thing on the planet of like who the killer is.
Yeah, I thought it was dumb.
Because it does all the things of like, you know, a character escaped the killer off screen. It's like, well, then they're the killer. Obviously. No one just escapes the killer. Like, what the hell? It's obviously not the cute boy, because like that's so obvious. So it's obviously these two characters. Like at first I thought it has like a fake out kind of thing. And it's like, oh, that would have been really funny if the killer was someone unrelated to everything else going on. That would have been
awesome.
That would have been an amazing, like, you know, subversion of
Mm-hmm.
expectations. But then they're like, no, we're gonna have this weird like fallout in our church. It's like, we met here 4,000 years ago today. It's like, that sucks now.
Like if this movie could have ended at the part where she's at the airport and did not wind up having to go to the church, I'm like, that would have been great.
Yeah.
And
then he dies somehow at the airport, unrelated.
So this is an interesting, fine movie.
Yeah.
Unlike
it has
some really, really fucking funny parts too.
It has some good humor.
I mean, I don't know. Me and Ryan have different senses of humor sometimes, but I was laughing my ass off at several things.
We have a bit. The Venn diagram is like really close together, but there's like some outside things.
like when she is at her apartment with the guy for the first time, and he comes in, and her apartment's just a mess because you know she's lost control of her life and she's heartbroken, and he's just like commenting on the mess, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting company." He's like, "Ever?" It just made me laugh.
This guy is the most 3 out of 5 movie ever because he did Werewolves Within. That's at a 3.0 on Letterboxd I just saw, and he did Scare Me, also 3.0, and he did Hard Eyes, and it's still 3.0. So hey, he's consistent.
He's making solid stuff.
He's making solid, like good and fine movies.
Gets the job done.
But yeah, this is very much like a recent Scream movie type of movie. So if you're into those movies, this is definitely that. I mean, it has one of the main guys from them because it's Lionsgate, so it's like they knew what they were making. Because like, oh, that new Scream movie, we really fucked up by firing that lady for just saying she doesn't like genocide.
Jordana Brewster is the cop in this movie?
I could not tell.
Devon Sawa is in this movie? What the fuck?
He could be just making sounds. I don't know what he's saying.
Is Jordana Brewster the lady who is in the Fast and Furious movies?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's a joke about that in the movie, and when it happened, I was like,
yes.
Their detective names are Hobbs and Shaw, and then someone's like the movie, and they're like, what are you talking about? And when that happened, I was like, why? Because I didn't know that she was in those movies.
When I saw that, I was like, what a silly joke. What a silly joke.
That was the most confusing joke for the whole movie. I was like, what?
Clearly Jordana Brewster of The Faculty fame.
I just assumed they named it that because it was like, you know, it was like, oh, what do we name these detectives? Hobbs and Shaw, and then they made a joke about how they just like pulled some names out of their ass.
Took it out of the script.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hard Eyes. It's all right. I'll probably watch.
Kills are pretty good and gory.
Good kills.
Yeah.
Good, very gory kills.
Not as good as some of the other ones we've seen this month.
No. Obviously not. But you know,
this is a big Ryan, you've seen this Friday the 13th 2009 energy. Is this as ridiculous as that movie?
I mean, I need to rewatch that movie because that movie has like Defenders now.
Yes, I know. It's on 4K. You can get an Arrow 4K.
Is that the one with Jared Padalecki in it?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched that. That was bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think
Better than that.
Yeah, it is. I don't, because that movie just has a porn scene.
Exactly.
In the middle of it.
The whole thing is porn.
This isn't that.
It's a soft. Yeah, it might as well gotten released by Vinegar Syndrome's porn label. Yes.
So we have a DVD of just that scene because we know that's what you guys are watching. It's like finally someone.
Anyways, all right, Hard Eyes, check it out. Paddington in Peru, baby. With not oh my gosh, Shape of Water lady.
Sally Hawkins.
She's not in this.
Yes.
That's a bummer.
She wanted to step away.
Oh wow.
I will say, without getting to it, I think Emily Mortimer does a really good job.
Good.
She's always been very good, but she does a very good job stepping in for, Sally.
It's impossible to take over for Sally Hawkins and be at that level, but
I think she does a very good job.
No Paul King. So
he did write the script.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like the movie does a very good job trying to imitate that style.
Mm-hmm.
It obviously can't, it's perfection. It's perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Paddington 2, a objectively perfect film. One of the very few objectively perfect films in cinema.
Of course.
So it's hard to, replicate that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this film does a very nice job, being...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's called Paddington Peru, not Paddington 3, so it's like, hey, this is like...
This is Beetlejuice Goes Hawaii.
Yeah. It's the same, but, we want to temper expectations.
I guess, yeah. Because, but conceptually, narrative-wise, it's a big deal. He's gonna go... Was it his mom or his grandma?
His
Aunt
Lucy,
my
who
bad.
raised him.
Yes. But yeah, point being that this was the third Paddington movie without Paul King and some of the usual players, and it's a big deal that, gonna go find Aunt Lucy.
It took them forever to make this, which is crazy to me.
But so we lost Sally Hawkins, but we did add not Javier Bardem, pardon me, Antonio Banderas and
Baby Girl fame,
of course, and Olivia Colman.
Oh shit! Okay, all right.
They're
Wonka fame.
They're the crazy celebrity playing the antagonist role.
Great, love that. That is a great role. If I was what a time-honored tradition. Yeah. So yeah, how'd it come out?
It was a fun movie.
It's very fun. It's very fun. It's very sweet. It's very funny. It's everything you would want in this. I feel like it's, it feels close to Paddington 1, where it's just nice. Mm-hmm. Wow, with Paddington 2, they really understood the formula and really.
It was really extravagant.
And it was
really
very extravagant.
Yes.
And I feel like this is trying to do that, but it just doesn't, hit the same. But, I'm not saying that in a way where it's a bad movie. It's a very nice, fun movie, and it's very enjoyable. And it has, heartwarming moments and, great performances from everyone. Mm-hmm. And fun action sequences that, are silly but are very, it's like this is, Indiana Jones, obviously.
Yeah.
It has all that stuff, and it's just fun. It's just nice. It's just can't be Paddington 2.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I can say about it.
Or 1, right?
One has its charm just because
Nicole Kidman.
It does have Nicole
it does
Kidman.
Have,
That's big.
I get animals.
One has its charm just because with all these movies, it's always he's in this new place. With the first one, it's he's in London and he's walking chaos. And in the second one, he's in jail. This one, he's in
where he belongs, frankly.
This one, he's in the Amazon rainforest, with his walking chaos, and that's fun, but it does have less. He's running into random people, and they're like, what the? This man's charming, but Jesus Christ. So it has less of that but it's also more focused on the family. Yeah. I think one issue with the second one is the family. He's in jail, so the family's doing their own thing. But this is very much bringing the family together, as they're all locked in the rainforest, trying to fight Aunt Lucy. Mm-hmm. But still very funny, still very nice. Stay for the credits. Yeah. You're gonna want it if you're a Paddington fan. You're gonna want to stay for those credits. But Carrie, as the bear expert, share your thoughts.
I loved it. It was adorable. It made me happy. And Olivia Colman was such a welcome addition. She was perfect. She has a musical number.
Great.
George.
Perfect. That sounds good.
And I loved it. Basically, he gets word that Aunt Lucy really wants him to come visit. She's not going to write and say it because she doesn't want to distract Paddington from his goings-on in London. But,
what are they?
Yeah,
What's he doing?
He's doing stuff.
Yeah.
But,
he's getting a passport.
So when he hears that, he wants to get the whole family in to go visit her, but she's gone missing, George. And so now we have to go on a trip to find El Dorado.
Okay.
yeah. It's very silly.
Great. Is Antonio Banderas a good guy or a bad guy in this movie?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
he might be having some inner grapplings with himself in different outfits.
Okay. That's always good if you want that.
Yes,
that's also a staple of that role in these films.
Yes,
he is doing that. He is doing that part while I guess
very good.
Olivia Colman is doing the more explicitly like negative, like more like I am the antagonist type of role. He is just like gold. That's gonna be my non-spoiler way of explaining his character.
Great movie.
So
very delightful.
Is this a trilogy, or do you see it going on again?
I hope it goes on again. I hope they don't take 7 years to make another one, because like they can't keep having those kids be kids anymore. Because like the boy looks like a man now.
He's a completely different
it's like
person.
he's getting ready for college. No, he has a law degree. All right, this is an old man. All right.
150 million worldwide.
Oh, and our boy, the oi!
Yes,
he does have a cameo.
He does have a cameo.
He's the flight instructor, given the instructions about where your exits are.
He does not relive the whole misinterpreting a man as a woman thing.
They do not revive the he's attracted to men in disguise as women.
Yes.
Which would have been some reason. Which would have been because of woke.
No. Just had him be like, in a past life he was involved with the other character. You know the one who is, because there is someone in drag in this movie.
That's true.
There is someone in drag in this movie, and they could have easily done a flashback of his ancestors being like, oi. Listen, Paul, baby, call us. We know. We understand the formula. We're on your level. We can help.
I understand that guy deeply. The oi guy.
And Paul King is doing a Prince Charming movie next. Interesting.
What?
And Wonka 2. Wonka 2 is also.
Oh, baby.
Interesting. Where do you go from there? Noodle. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm very curious. I mean, it's diminishing returns, but it's not so bad. Like each one does less than the other one, but I feel like it has a long tail, but I don't know. Captain America, Brave New World.
Exactly.
Folks.
Once again, I'm the only one reporting in the field.
I almost did. I was curious. They marketed it so like, no. This is like a Mission Impossible movie. This is not a Marvel movie.
It's not. But then, we got like a cold freeze here in town, and it was just like, I don't know if I had the energy.
That was God telling you not to see this.
Well, movie. I had heard so much weird thing. Like my YouTube was filled with I need to talk about this. I am so fascinated because one issue with this is this film was reshot multiple times. To the point where, they added Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, he was not in it.
He was not in it originally. They took out, it was Rosa Salazar was originally a different character who played his role, but they was like, we're going to just cut you out and replace you with another person. And, you can tell in the movie that all his scenes were later. But, anyways, this is, Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie is now Captain America. And he is going to go on his own adventure where he gets to save the day. Now, George, you did not watch Captain America, the show. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No.
Well, what if I told you it's sort of a sequel to that, but it's also sort of a sequel to the movie The Eternals.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Is Gumflub back?
No.
Where's
because it's sort of a sequel to that because at the end of that, because the plot of The Eternals was basically the Earth is an egg
Big Hand Man. Yeah.
Big Hand Man comes
Oh,
out.
I thought you were doing a rar.
No. There's a Big Hand Man. He's living inside the Earth. No one's.
Yes,
worried.
there's a Celestial, which is a space
I feel
person.
like I remember you telling me about this.
Who lives inside the Earth, and the mean Eternal is like, the Earth is an egg, and we need to have the Eternal come out, the Celestial come out and kill everyone. And it's like, what if we don't do that? It's like, I'm gonna kill all of my best friends now. So the Celestial mostly comes out, and what's been fun watching, like, there's been a million Marvel shows, and like, I see all the Marvel stuff, where in the Indian Ocean, there was a giant stone man out of the thing. And for the last 5 years in all these shows, no one has brought that up. That there's a stone man in the ocean. It's like, what do we do? It's like,
very big. You can look at him from space. Right?
Yeah, you can see it from space. And no one's brought this up in like the 20 shows or 30 movies that have come out. So they finally bring that up.
Great!
They bring that up where, the President of the United States, Thunderbolt Ross, Harrison Ford, is like, we need to mine adamantium from the thing. They're bringing it back. Adamantium, Carrie, you look shocked.
That's Wolverine's.
That's Wolverine's things because they have the right.
Was the statue made of adamantium?
It's in. If you mine it, you get adamantium, and they're like, this will be our vibranium, and now the U.S. will have something better than the Wakandans. But also, finally. But also, this movie is mostly just a sequel to the 2008 Incredible Hulk movie.
That's what. Yes, because it's Thunderbolt Ross.
It's Thunderbolt Ross, and
is that his government name?
No, that's his. That was his. Because Ross, he's a very famous. He's like the main antagonist of like the Hulk, basically, because he's this government guy who had a big say in like how the guy got turned into this giant werewolf monster analogy.
Father to Liv Tyler's character.
Father to Liv Tyler's character. And they talk about the events of that movie a lot.
Yeah.
Because it has... Because one's like, Ross was originally, he's the president, but people had a lot of say when his doing-ons with when the Hulk and the Abomination fought in Harlem. This was a huge event that we're all still talking about. I was like, really? We're all still talking about that? A lot of stuff has happened in this world since then.
Didn't Tim Roth show up in She-Hulk? Is Tim Roth also in this?
Tim Roth is not in this.
Okay.
He did show up in She-Hulk. Yeah. But who's also in this is Tim Blake Nelson is the villain. Okay. Because at the end of that, the Hulk's blood got in a wound on his face, and he turned into the Thinker. Because he turned into the Leader. That's his name. Because he is the inverse of Hulk, where he has the same gamma radiation, but instead of super strength, he becomes super smart. And he becomes one of those smart people who's like, I'm making all the calculations. I had the 96% probability that you would do this, Sam Wilson. He's one of those. Incredibly annoying when characters are like this. Like, just say 50-50 or say, I was positive you would do this. Don't be like, I was 84.68% sure you would do this. It's like, okay. But basically, the plot of this movie involves all those things.
Okay. Going to vibranium, from the adamantium.
And basically,
jeez,
it's basically vibranium, yeah. And
the unobtainium.
Yes,
it's unobtainium, yeah. And it's mostly about Harrison Ford being the president and dealing.
Thunderbolt Ross. How did he get elected? Did we talk about that at all? How did Thunderbolt Ross get elected?
Because he says what everyone's thinking, Jordan.
Oh, it's true. You see, he fucking failed at stopping Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Why did we elect him? Whatever.
Listen,
I don't know why I'm such
this film has it's very easy for this film to make some analogies to the real world, which like they couldn't have known the events of the world going into it, but
wasn't the original character in this movie like the lady, I think, like an Israeli super soldier?
That's another thing. There is an Israeli super soldier in this movie, and you can tell that they really dialed that back. They really dialed that back. It's to the point it's like, oh, she's from Israel and she was part of the Black Widow program, and also we're gonna cut most of her scenes, but she will wear.
I need it back in my home planet.
She has to go to the store.
But in her scenes, she is wearing like a superhero like vest, like before she gets like her real costume. You know how like in superhero movies, like I have the vest. But she's not. You could cut her out of the movie and it would not change.
She was supposed to be a much bigger thing. Yes.
Much bigger thing. This movie got annihilated. So it's all about the leader. He's manipulating things. He's doing all this stuff, He's thinking. He has all these calculations. He wants to get at Ross by turning him into the Red Hulk in front of everyone to show that he is not. Because part of his arc, he's like, I'm not that guy anymore. I don't have anger problems. I don't do that.
I am no longer the Hulk.
I am no longer doing these things. But the leader's like, you did all this stuff to me, and I'm going to prove to everyone that you're the Red Hulk.
The leader was experimented... Oh, I'm so sorry. The leader was experimented by the government with gamma radiation, and that's how he became the leader?
Yes, he got a little bit, but Ross found him and did more experiments on him to make him even brainier. And he was like, hey, if you help me with this...
So is this a grudge thing? Okay.
It's a grudge thing where he secretly turned him into the Red Hulk. And he's like, I'm going to make you a Hulk out in public so everyone sees who you really are. And also Sam Wilson, you're apparently the one stopping this because, I don't know.
So all of this sounds like a side story.
Yeah.
None of this sounds like a main movie material.
I forgot that this was even a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
You just said that.
And, like, what sucks is, like, the whole plot of, like, the show is, like, I don't know if I can be Captain America because I don't have superpowers. Right. I'm black. They touched on that.
He did not take the serum.
He did not take the serum. So I don't know if I could do this. But also, and that's something that they say again is like, I don't know if I can do this because, like, I'm not super strong like Steve or whatever. But, like, he has, like, basically an Iron Man suit at this point. They make a point where he says that, oh, the Wakandans gave me my new wings, and they're basically as indestructible as his shield, and also have all the Black Panther suit, like, energy. Like, you know how, like, he gets hit, like, it can boosh energy. Like, his wings can do that, and he also has, like, the unstoppable shield, so, like, he's basically indestructible. And there's a line in this movie that, like, drove me crazy, because, like, there's like, the new Falcon, who's, like, this fun little guy, who's his new buddy, and he gets hurt, and he's telling Sebastian Stan, who makes a cameo, is like, I don't know if I can do this. Steve, he fought aliens twice. Why do I think I can do this? You fought aliens once! That's a lot of time, still. What do you, just because he did it one more time than you are so capable.
Is this new Falcon of consequence? Like, is it a guy that we met before? I can't believe this is the movie we spent the most time talking about.
He was in the show a little bit, and I feel like he could have had more of a role in this, because he's, like, even more fun and silly than Sam. Yeah. And Sam, like, whoa, I'm silly, but you're downright wacky.
Okay, Ryan. So let's just get cut to the chase. We stopped the thinker, or the leader. Sorry, we stopped the leader.
Yes.
How did this affect anything?
Not at all.
Okay, great.
Super inconsequential.
The guy, Celestial's still in the egg, and by the egg I mean the Earth.
He's still in the Earth, but we now know that you can get adamantium from him, so that means Wolverine, if they get around to that. Ross hulked out, and is now in jail, and there's a new president. So... he's not. So now Harrison Ford, an 80-year-old man, is not going to be in these movies anymore. But what's so funny about this movie is just like with Companion, is like this whole... The marketing is all like, oh, he's going to fight a Red Hulk. Which is like, fine. Like, a guy without superpowers fighting a Hulk, you know, that could be a Marvel movie, you know?
That was the whole treatment for this movie.
But like, this whole movie is like, oh, what did the leader do to Ross? He turned him into a Red Hulk. I know, because it's on the poster.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, it's not like, well, what is the grand plan that we know?
It's like, what are these pills he's taking? It's like, they have something to do with him turning.
So he's only the Red Hulk for like 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And it looks terrible. Great. And then also Liv Tyler shows up, which is like,
oh shit, yeah! That's what I was gonna say. Is Liv Tyler in this movie?
She's on... He talks to her on the phone. He's like, my daughter hasn't talked to me since the Hulk incident in 2008. And it's like, that's a long time. And also, I feel like, whatever. Time. But he talks to her on the phone, and then also she shows up in prison in like a post-credit scene. But, oh my god, the post-credit scene is so funny. So the leader's in jail, and Sam Wilson talks to him. He's like, you think you know I've made the calculations, Sam. And people from other... And from my calculations, you're going to have a hard time because other universes are coming and they're going to do some stuff or whatever. It's like, what do you mean your calculations told me you're going to do Secret Wars? How would that do that? Like, I was so...
the numbers, right?
I was so expecting it to be like, I've crunched numbers and your doom is coming because the next movie is Doctor Doom.
Sure.
If they didn't do that, I was like, you basically should have done that because you were super dancing around it. Anyways,
It's a pointless movie.
but also this movie is so boring.
That's the other thing. Because if it was a fun action movie that was pointless, that's fine.
But yeah, the action's
But
like
it's not,
so. It's fine, and
Den of
like
Thieves 2-esque.
so. Like at the end of the day, is like this is probably like a 1-star movie, but like I gave it like a 2.5 because like it's so nothing. It feels so unimportant and like uninteresting. But like all the behind the scenes stuff is what's fascinating to me. And it's what I'm thinking about the whole time is like this is clearly made very late in the game. So it's just, I don't know.
Okay, interesting.
Thunderbolt, the movie Thunderbolts looks a lot more interesting.
I have not seen a single trailer for that movie.
The trailer looks better. Like it had an idea behind it. I'm like,
nobody liked Black Widow. Why do they think that people are gonna go watch the Thunderbolts?
I don't know. People like Florence Pugh.
That's not enough, I don't think.
It's enough for
People
me.
didn't see in Time or whatever the hell that movie was
I
called.
did not see that.
Yeah, see? There you go. Anyways, The Monkey! The new movie by Osgood Perkins. Theo James, he's in it. That's fun. I think that's the only Elijah Wood's in this movie. And Adam Scott's in this movie. Spoilers, sorry. I was like, oh, hey, Adam Scott is in this movie. Kiara, you want to set up The Monkey?
The monkey that likes killing our family is back. I don't think they even say that.
They don't say that in the...
But it's such a quotable line. I will continue to make the joke. But basically we have our two twin protagonists, one more so the protagonist than the other, but when they were children, their father was a pilot and he brought back this crazy monkey that he got from parts unknown, and pretty much whenever you wind up the monkey, someone dies horrifically and comedically. And we're many years on from the childhood trauma that came from this monkey, and the monkey's back.
In a very Final Destination-esque way.
Yes, very
That's
much
fun.
so.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie's great. This is not Long Legs. That's for damn fucking sure. This is a
This
fun
felt
movie.
like-
showing I can do range.
Yeah, this felt like Osgood Perkins being like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you thought my movies were too moody and boring and atmospheric. I'm going
What
to
if I made the
hit
loudest
you-
movie possible?
Hit you with drumsticks."
Yeah, this movie's silly with great gore, great kills. I didn't like Theo James that much, but I think it's the
What else has he done?
He was in. I want to say he was in like I Am Number 4.
Oh my god.
That would
sounds
not
right.
that would not help me whatsoever.
Because I was like, I recognize this man, but
I recognize this white man.
right,
The
yeah.
guy
I'm like,
who was
I'm just
number
probably
4.
confusing you with someone.
Divergent.
Oh, he was in the Divergent
That checks
movies.
out.
That's
Either one.
right.
Pretty white boy.
He was not number 4.
He was not number 4,
My
sadly.
bad.
Yeah.
He was in Duel, apparently. I don't remember him being in that.
I do not remember him in that either.
But yeah, this movie is super fun and funny and a gory fun time. The monkey, he plays the drums. It's a bad time once it happens, but we like it, folks. It's funny. Yeah, I thought this was totally good. I think I saw it with a mostly empty theater. I was very tired. Where I would have watched it with a packed theater, probably with you all. It's very much like everybody's like, wah! It's like I was like, I don't know. This is not. You're not gonna relate to this, but it's like watching wrestling, but like
On your phone by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I had that when I watched John Wick 3 at home on the couch by myself. I was like, it's still good, but it lacks that.
Our theater was full,
Very
and,
vocal.
and it was
fun.
There were
There was
screams
smatterings
and
of
howls.
applause
Yes.
after every kill. It was funny.
Yeah. Brian, anything else?
I don't know what else to say. It's
exactly what you said in the tin.
It's
so good.
I don't think it's for everyone, obviously, because it's so like
stupid. I thought the monkey movie was gonna be.
It is stupid, but like that's kind of
people who give the critique. That's even scary, and I want to put them on a boat and just send them away. I just want to go away.
Because like, it's like I feel like it's that, but also people who aren't like that was just ridiculous. It's like yeah, but like that's
People who aren't willing to have fun every day in their life.
But it is, and I feel like it also has enough that ridiculous, but also says a little bit of stuff. I think it also has that theme of generational trauma stuff that a Wolfman does. And then also the, absurdity that is, death and how sudden it is. And it's just amplifying all of that up to 11, obviously, to make it be fun and silly. And I just also appreciate how it's not even just the monkey that's like so wild and crazy. Like everything in this world is insane. Yeah. Like I think about I love the flashbacks of him as a kid and like his group of boys are like these girls who just like covered him with bananas and like he just is just like that all day and no one says or does anything. And his mom is just like, death happens and I'm gonna die and I fucking hate you. Yeah. And like I love a movie where the world is absurd, right? As well as the initial object that is causing future insanity. It's just fun. It's a fun time.
Because the shitty brother is a cartoon character.
Oh yeah, he is cartoonishly shitty.
I've never read the Stephen King story that it's based on.
I've heard it's a lot more serious.
Right, but when we're playing around with all these fucking wacky ass people, I'm like, nah, this is some Stephen King ass shit. These people that just make no sense and are insane.
I think my one critique with this is when it gets to the reveal of like what is happening, I feel like it's throwing a lot at you. And then you're like thinking like, okay, but then how did this happen? But because the movie's so quick, like I'm like, okay, I'll just accept this and just keep going on. I feel like that could have been...
It's not very long.
I feel like that could have been more dealt differently. I don't want to just be like, you should have done this. But that's like my one thing that's like stopping this from being like, a long legs level masterpiece thing. But it is so fun and silly and unpredictable in like the best ways. Like when it's over, you just wish you saw more absurd kills.
Yeah. And it's so stupid.
Yeah,
it's so
in like a good way.
Stupid. It's not stupid.
Yeah. That lead actress was She-Hulk, huh?
Yeah, Tatiana Maslany. Oh. She's also going to be in the post-credits, or not post-credits, there's just a trailer for his next movie.
Yeah, for his next movie.
Right,
which has Tatiana Maslany.
Prolific. Goodness. Prolific man. My God.
Working so hard.
The next movie looks good.
Yeah.
Is it next year?
It's this year. It's October this year.
Christ!
Yeah, he just pumped them out.
God damn. All right. Well, fuck me. Yeah, Monkey's fun. I think maybe I'll rewatch it. Yeah. It's I don't know. It's a good party movie. That's for damn sure. Also
shout out Corey Cunningham was in this movie. Whom I love from Halloween Ends. He was the guy with the hair in his face who really liked the monkey. Right. And made him think of his cop dad.
The guy just liked that monkey and went it back. Why?
He has no idea what's actually going on. He just really likes the monkey.
That would have been Carrie's role.
That was in his universe. I'd be like, I thought about it.
I want this monkey.
I am very much that person who, if I don't buy something at the fucking antique store, I think about it for weeks. I'm like, God!
I shouldn't have given Theo James that monkey back.
But yeah, that's February, folks. We did not watch Dogman. We did not watch Love Hurts.
Nope.
Yeah, that's March. Mickey 17 is finally coming out. It is finally being released out into the world. Reviews are coming out for it. It's a good movie. It seems. I'm excited to hear Robert Pattinson give that fucking weird ass voice.
He's the best to ever do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have no expectations other than I assume it's gonna be a great movie.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. What's Opus?
That's the new. It's the movie.
It has IO.
Movie. Yeah, it's got IO, and there is a cult run by John Malkovich.
Yes.
And she's like a journalist or something, and she gets the cult reaches out to her to be like, come do a piece about us, and it's like the cult of celebrity in this desert, and there's all these people there, and she just gets trapped up in it. It said on the website that I was pulling these from, it said it was a limited release, so who knows when it'll.
I saw a trailer for this. I didn't click on it, assuming I'd watch it eventually.
Yeah.
This had a lot of hype, but I've heard mixed things. I've heard mixed things about it, but I'm interested in it.
So this is A24?
Yes.
Speaking of other movies A24 is just putting out into the world, Paranthrope. I think it's called Paranthrope.
Oh, yeah, I as a AAA 24 member, I got a free ticket to that, and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah. I want to watch it, but apparently it's not good. I like because it's like pretty. It's Italian like summer, pretty lady who like all the men in the town are like blah blah blah, just knock themselves in the head and antics ensue. So I enjoy that. But everyone's like, yeah, it's like not good though. It's kind of just like sexist though. It's like, that's not fun. You can't have fun then.
Well, great. Thanks, A24.
So yeah. Anyways, Plankton the movie?
Yes, this is part of Netflix's like original SpongeBob movies because they had the Sandy Cheeks movie last year that was leaked on Twitter in its entirety. And good news, this also leaked on Twitter in its entirety. like 6 months ago. So people have seen this, and it's probably very easy to find. It's probably just still up on Twitter because that website is a nightmare. But I have heard from people who watch this, like, this is a lot better than the Sandy Cheeks movie. Surprisingly a lot better. So it might be worth watching.
Plankton the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like that. Interesting.
Yeah, they all have, like, interesting... The SpongeBob, from what I've seen, modern SpongeBob tries to really experiment with, like, art styles lately, especially with... Like, they do a lot of, like, stop-motion specials nowadays, which is interesting, but it's also like, the show sucks, though, now. It's just, like, so not what it is anymore. Okay. So, who knows?
I will not be watching. Novocaine! Speaking of Jack Quaid, this is another one where I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be good. I just can't tell.
Yeah.
It looks it definitely looks cheap.
Yeah.
It does look cheap. Jack Quaid's work. I like Jack Quaid. He seems like a nice guy. I like how honest he is about, nepotism with stuff. He just seems like...
Oh, is he Quaid? Is he...
Yes. And he's been very open. He's like, I understand that, I get stuff from my dad, but I also don't agree with a lot of stuff he says.
My dad's a dumbass.
So, and he's like, I feel confident in, like, my acting and the stuff that I choose. That I feel like that the nepotism stuff shouldn't, be my label. Which I really appreciate that, and I think he is a very good actor and picks very fun stuff. He's very good in The Boys, even though that show is weird now.
My being on the internet for a long time and like not trying to stand this normal guy. He's like, I'm just a normal guy. I'm on Red Letter Media. I'm on Kind of Funny Games Daily. I'm just a guy. I'm just a normal white guy. I'm like, okay, I like you, but I'm trying to be like, keep it at a distance. I'm sure I like him a lot, but I don't know. There's just something about him that's like, I don't know about him.
Yeah, something suspicious.
Yeah, keep an eye on that.
Well, that's because his dad is Dennis Quaid, so there's
something lying dormant within him.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like one person says some weird things like, that's it, I'm going crazy now. I'm letting the Quaid out.
He's like a sleeper agent.
It's like a woman doesn't like go out with him. It's like, that's it. Ah! All women are evil.
He just,
Reagan wasn't that bad of a guy.
He had some ideas.
Now, excuse me, is this a full-length 90-minute Looney Tunes movie?
I am excited for this. The day the Earth blew up, a Looney Tunes movie. This is a fully animated
Porky and Daffy
on a fun adventure. I remember this has been on the shelf for a while, and it's finally apparently getting released. And I saw a lot of people were worried about after,
Coyote vs. Acme.
Coyote vs. Acme. A movie starring so many cool people, written by James Gunn.
Yeah, sounds bindable. Let's just
delete it. So I saw a lot of stuff where people were like, Looney Tunes have like really sucked lately, especially with that Space Jam movie.
That was ass.
That was ass. So I saw a lot of people like worried, like, oh, this is definitely going to also be binned, but apparently it's coming out this year.
Theatrically or for Max, the one to watch for HBO?
I think theatrically.
That's crazy. What are they doing?
I don't know.
What's going on? You can't release the live action movie with Looney Tunes and John Cena, but we're putting out an animated fucking Lord of the Rings movie and an animated Looney Tunes movie? I love it, but these are not sound parts. The math is not math. What are we doing?
I don't get it, but I'm
I'd go.
I would love a world where this does very well and they decide to uncancel.
That would be
acting.
interesting.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be cool.
I'd
watch that.
That would be the world that I wish we could live in.
Anyways. Oh man, I saw a YouTube pre-roll ad for this and I was like, this is coming out, huh?
Ooh.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarves.
You hate it because woke, right?
No, it looks disgusting to look at. It looks horrendous.
It does look bad.
It looks really bad, which, is a bummer. Because I like her. What's her name?
Rachel Zegler's
Not
great.
Maddie Ziegler.
I was looking it up frantically. He's like, no, not the girl from music. Not the girl from music.
Rachel Zegler's great. I think she was a great pick for... I know nothing about Snow White. I don't know if I've ever even seen it.
She hangs out with these 7 guys. They're kind of small.
I think she'd be she has a great musical theater voice. So I think she could do those songs very well. But like the 7 guys look weird. This will probably be the last thing we see Gal Gadot in, which might be great, actually. No!
She'll resurface when we have another global pandemic. She's like, I'll bring it back.
Well, that might be this year the way things are
the
going.
next few months.
I really do enjoy that. It wasn't just Twitter and like the internet who dumped Gal Gadot. I was like, we're just done. We're done.
See ya.
Bye. We don't care.
She was in a bad Wonder Woman movie that came out the worst possible time.
Because everyone was. It was. I need to rewatch.
That movie was. Asshole.
I need to rewatch it. That's probably that movie's gonna be like. I mean, it's probably already some YouTube.
That movie doesn't feel real.
But yeah, it's true. It's like it feels like this. Like they made this really weird Wonder Woman movie. No one talks about it, but it was really fucking weird. Anyways, this looks horrendous, and I hope it bombs. Mufasa did pretty well, as I understand, but
really,
yeah,
interesting.
This just looks so bad. It looks AI. Yeah. It looks horrendous. It looks like what. I complain about Wicked's color temperature, but the people who are fucking geniuses on or Wicked Digital Foundry just turn up the fucking vibrance all the way up. That's what this looks like. It looks like a nightmare. Okay, I'm convinced Letterboxd is playing a prank on everyone because according to them, Maddie Ziegler and Rachel Ziegler are in West Side Story.
I don't remember seeing
West Side.
Maddie. I mean, it would make sense for Maddie Ziegler to be in it.
Yeah,
She's
sure.
a dancer.
She's a dancer, but it's just like it seems like a prank on me. But anyways, Maddie Ziegler was on My Old Ass. That's what I saw her recently, and I was like, good for her.
I think you said mild ass. I'm like, what is that?
What porn were you watching?
Yeah. So, anyways. Death of a Unicorn. I still can't read this movie.
You skipped one, George.
Did I?
The woman in the yard.
I don't know
She's out there.
I don't know anything about this movie.
If she's cold,
I don't know anything about this movie. The poster looks kind of good though. The poster has some good vibes.
I have never seen this.
What are you talking
about? This is a Blumhouse
joint? In the yard, George.
I have never
She's
seen it.
She's sitting out there.
George, look outside. She's there.
This sounds
no.
great.
My mom is interested in this one. She texted me. She's like, I saw a trailer for The Woman in the Yard. We should go.
Oh, this sounds great. A lone spectral woman shrouded entirely in black appears on a family's front lawn without explanation and warns them, "Today's the day."
Yeah.
This sounds fucking great.
Yeah, this trailer's awesome. I think it's the same director who did Orphan, which I love.
Oh, man.
So this movie's gonna slap. Woman in the Yard.
This might be our night swim. Coming a little
How
late.
have I not seen a trailer for this?
I don't think I've seen a trailer for this. I've only seen the poster.
We're watching that when we're done. The trailer rocks. It's hilarious. It looks very silly, but it also looks like slightly elevated. So I'm like, hey, this could be, actually kind of good. So we'll see. Because that's what Orphan is. Orphan is like an insane
That
movie.
was a movie everyone thought was going to be bad.
It looked, it's like an insane movie, but there's like some really inspired, like artful, beautiful moments in that movie. I'm like, what the fuck business does Orphan have in this kind of... It's great movie.
Must have been. I wish I, was one of the few people who watched that before it got spoiled for me. But,
That was me.
It's pretty good.
I was like, what the heck?
It's pretty good. It's pretty crazy. It's crazy. Anyways, Death of a Unicorn now. I can't read this movie. As in, I can't tell if it's going to be good or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks a little on the precipice of might be too zany.
Yeah. I like Will Poulter.
I like the idea of this a lot. I like the cast. And I appreciate how this was one of the few movies that was filming during the writer's strike.
Oh.
Because they made a deal with the union, we're A24, we're paying people proper. It's we know, so make your movie. And I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
So this has my support for that reason.
I enjoy that Paul Rudd is not playing Scott Lang in the movie.
That's always good.
The Ant Scott.
Well, there's a lot of Ant-Man jokes in Captain America 4.
Of course there are.
Because they're it's you were my hero, Falcon. Is really? Not Ant-Man? And they're
fuck you, Ant-Man.
First off, Ant-Man is way more blue than Falcon.
It's really unfortunate that as a person who's defended the 2 Ant-Man movies, here comes Quantumania, and it's just over forever.
It's over forever.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'm sorry, George.
It's okay.
Did you ever watch Quantumania?
No, I didn't watch that.
Whoa! Put down the gun.
George,
come on.
Why would I watch that? That's the most that is the most you do not need to watch this movie of all time. 1, it looks like dog shit. And 2, the main thing of this movie, the thing we are setting up, he's canceled because of the allegations.
Yeah.
So,
that came out. That was a crazy
because
he had that movie.
3 just came out as well.
Yes, he had a great month, and it's oh
yeah, it's over. Crazy.
And we're also gonna redo everything that we've been planning, but also no one liked what we were planning anyway, so it's fine.
Anyways, well, that's what we're looking forward to in March. We gotta do a best of, folks. That's probably definitely gonna be late.
Shit.
After the Oscars. So we'll figure that out eventually. But until then, Ryan Lance.
Whoa.
You rewatched The Incredible Hulk 2008. Where can people find
I
it?
actually was going to do that last night, and then I watched Mr. Robot instead. Because I remember liking that movie a lot.
I remember too. People say it sucks.
I was in high school, so I don't know. Because I've always really liked.
It was better
Hulk.
than Ang Lee's Hulk. I think that was the bar.
Yes. Because I originally didn't watch it because but Ang Lee's Hulk was so disappointing. But then I watched
Tim Roth's great.
Tim Roth is
whenever
great
he's
in
a
that.
bad guy, a little sneevily.
I think there's a lot of good stuff in that movie from memory.
I remember the
the
Harlem fight was cool. I don't know.
It was cool. It was so cool that was really such an incredible event that people are still talking about it, even though everyone on the planet got erased.
Anyways,
but we're still talking about this one that happened.
Somehow it is the one Marvel movie I own on Blu-ray. I don't know how that happens. And it's not even in the green case. It's in the blue case.
Boo! What are you doing, Universal? What are you doing?
Anyways.
My God.
Carrie, where can folks find you for your opinions?
Find me on Letterboxd by just searching my first name, Carrie, Karrie. I just watched a movie I think George might enjoy called Malice, and it's a 90s erotic thriller.
Oh!
And
Hello!
it's got Nicole Kidman.
Oh! Hello!
Alec Baldwin.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's interesting. I don't know.
And Bill Pullman.
Okay.
And I watched it because I decided I want to watch all of George C. Scott's movies. Bro. But that movie was, you know who else is in that movie? Tobin Bell.
Oh!
So I think I forgot.
Did you know that going in?
No.
That is a jump scare.
I won't get into the. I said it in my review. Greg got home at 2:30 in the morning, and I explained the entire plot of this movie to him, and he was like, ugh.
He shows up in the Saw 7.
But I won't get into the whole plot, but they're in a office, and it's because one of the characters is a professor, and other characters are entering the office, but then also Tobin Bell walks in carrying a small filing cabinet, and I was like, what the fuck was that, Tobin Bell? And he doesn't say anything during that scene, and he doesn't show back up for like another 45 minutes. So I was like, was he just in the movie just to do that? But he does come back and has another scene.
Okay.
Incredible movie.
That's very funny.
So are you watching George C. Scott because of The Exorcist 3 or what?
Maybe.
Oh.
Well, because I watched Hardcore because of the monkey poster that is a parody of the Hardcore poster.
Oh my god, that's my
So
daughter.
I was like, yes. And so I was like, I want those posters next to each other on my feed because that would be funny. But then Hardcore was really good. And then I was like, George C. Scott is so good in this movie and he's so good at yelling at
Man,
people.
this looks like the
And,
most George shit I've ever
That
seen in
movie
my
was
fucking
that movie
life.
was fucking awesome.
Okay.
You should watch that one too.
Okay.
That one was actually good. Malice was just insane.
Okay.
but yeah.
Paul
he-
Schrader!
It's great. It's really good. George C. Scott goes undercover as a porn producer, and it's fucking
man.
awesome.
We're cooking here.
But yeah, when I was watching that, I was like, I fucking love this guy, and I feel like I'd seen so many of his movies, but I just watched Exorcist 3 like 20 times, so I'd only
so
really
that's
seen
why.
like 4 of his movies. So I'm like, I need to watch more because he's really good in Exorcist 3. Obviously, he's great in The Changeling, which is the other one I had seen. I've seen Doctor Strangelove, but it's been like 10 years. But
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Oh, he's in that.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Speaking of, I already forgot the director's name because I'm tired, but I was thinking about rewatching First Reformed the other day.
I love that movie.
I didn't like it at the time, but maybe I like it more now that
That
I
movie's
feel like
weird
becoming
as
the
hell,
First
but-
Reformed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the main thing I appreciate about watching the First Reformed is when people say I'm going to become the First Reformed, or they post that picture of him in the vest. I understand it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
I don't remember this movie
Oh,
clearly
you
because I
don't
have no
remember
idea.
First Reformed?
I know I've seen it, but look, I'm gonna become first
It's a
Reformed.
very important part of the movie.
It's like, what? What happened? Listen, I've seen too many movies. I just talked about Captain America, fourth Captain America for 45 minutes.
See, Ryan, you're rotting your brain. You were forgetting all the important movies to make space
Exactly.
for Hulk movies.
That's why I'm gonna rewatch the Incredible Hulk 2008.
Exactly. Last thing, remember how in Eternals, Blade was in that movie? That's funny.
Yeah, that might be the only thing. That Marshall Ali's Blade is gonna be in a voice role.
Poor
He's like,
guy.
Oof.
he's like, oh, I'm Blade.
I hope the food's better in this joint. Anyways,
Oof.
until next time, whether that be the best of, probably, or March, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.